thank you. I had a lot of fun making this one. I wanted to do something different, which was it's my first concept album, meaning I wanted to take songs and talk about, without words, these are all instrumental tracks. I wanted to talk about the difficulty of a long-term relationship, in this case, a marriage between a man and a woman that spans an entire lifetime. So the tracks are named after periods in their life where they've had ups and downs and struggles and triumphs. And if you notice, the first track is about pursuing her and finding this young love, possibly the most beautiful woman he's ever seen and laid eyes on, and how he pursues her. Eventually she says yes, and they go out, and then they begin the courtship, which of course leads to proposing for marriage, and then the actual marriage itself. And then as the years go on, they have children together, first and the second child, and then what I call the mundane years of just trying to get through life, the struggles of having kids, going up and down, perhaps missing some loneliness, missing some opportunities in their life. And then all of a sudden later on, one of them, it's not specific, cheats on the other and has an affair. And then after that, the consequences of that betrayal there. And then there's a song where the man actually just gives up and leaves everything, leaves his family, drives away through the desert as fast as he can in the most crazy sports car he can find. He has basically a midlife crisis. Just wants to get out and leave everything. And of course that doesn't last very long. After a while he wants to come back. And foolishly or not, she allows him back. They make up from his betrayal in this case. Although it's not specific, you could certainly tailor it to her betrayal as well. A lot of these sounds are very universal. And eventually he comes back and they patch things up over a period of 10 or 20 years. Although, of course, the person who's cheated upon never forgets. They may forgive, but they don't forget what happens. And then at some point they retire together and they grow old. They become more of a friendship than anything else, although the love is still there. And eventually, in my case, because I wrote these, I'm thinking that he loses her first. So she develops some sort of sickness and dies. And of course he's devastated at the things he did to her when she was alive. And just in remembrance of all the wonderful times that they had and the children and the ups and downs. Just a truly typical life of many people that I have talked to, many people that I have known. And then the pain is so great that shortly after he dies as well, he can't take being without her through all the thick and thin and the times away and the years away. He knows that she was his soulmate. So he can't sustain life after she's gone, and naturally he just passes away soon after. So that idea of that album is interesting. You have to use your imagination, of course, because there are no words. So I had to choose the mood of the song, perhaps by the chord changes, or, is it a major song, is it a minor song, what's the instrumentation in it, and you just have to use your imagination, try to picture yourself, of course, or imaginary characters in this situation. So that for me was something radically different, and by the time I was done I had 25 songs, 30 songs, close to. Of course I got rid of about 10 of them that I just didn't care for or weren't coming together as much as I thought. You always do that as a songwriter. You end up doing way more than you need and you just cut some out. Kind of like being a movie director. Was it helpful to the plot of this married couple? And then from that point on, I just put the songs together in their proper order and made sure that when I heard the song, it had a mood. So if the song is driving to her, I wanted it to be thumping and exciting and fast rhythm. Or if it was a song about having a child, I wanted it to be very positive and, upbringing. I wanted it to be happy chords. And of course, towards the end, as they die and pass away. I want it to be very melancholy with a lot of string and orchestral compositions there. So hopefully the listener will go through this journey, and of course you don't have to even look at the song titles if you don't want. Music is so subjective. Some will like it, some won't like it, and that's fine. The burden is on me to create it. I have fun creating these songs, but I don't dwell on them. Once they're done, I leave them and I move on to the next project, because that's just the way I do things. This is my 29th album, so I've been doing this a long time, but I tend to do at least one a year, sometimes two a year, depending.